In a small, remote village in Africa, there lived a woman named Nandi. Despite her kind heart and gentle spirit, Nandi was shunned by her fellow villagers because she could not bear children. In a community where motherhood was revered, her inability to conceive made her the subject of ridicule and scorn. The whispers and pointed fingers followed her everywhere, turning her life into a lonely existence. Desperate and heartbroken, Nandi sought the help of a Sangoma, a traditional healer known for their mystical powers. The Sangoma, an elderly woman with eyes that seemed to see into the soul, listened to Nandi's plight and decided to help her. She led Nandi to a sacred lake, hidden deep within the forest, where the air was thick with the scent of incense rituals. At the edge of the lake, the Sangoma performed a solemn ceremony. She slaughtered a cattle, its blood mingling with the earth, and chanted prayers that echoed through the trees. As the ritual reached its climax, the Sangoma reached into the lake and pulled out a small, mysterious seed. She handed it to Nandi with strict instructions: keep this seed safe in a large mud container. Care for it as you would a child, and never let the child of the seed go outside during the daytime. Nandi returned to her village, her heart filled with hope. She followed the Sangoma's instructions meticulously, nurturing the seed with love and care. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the seed began to glow and transform. From the container emerged a beautiful baby girl, her skin as smooth as silk and her eyes shining like stars. Nandi named her daughter Lindiwe, meaning the one we have waited for. Nandi celebrated the miraculous arrival of her daughter with the villagers, a symbol of new beginnings. As Lindiwe grew, she blossomed into a radiant young woman. However, she adhered to the Sangoma's warning and only went, in the night, she will clean the yard, fill all containers with water and cooked. Her strange activities puzzled the villagers, but they dared not question the mysterious circumstances of her birth. One day, a prince from a neighboring kingdom visited the village. In the night he took a walk in the village. He was captivated by Lindiwe's beauty and grace, and he sought her hand in marriage. Nandi, protective of her daughter, initially refused the prince's proposal. But the prince's persistence and genuine love for Lindiwe eventually won her over. A grand wedding was held, and Lindiwe went to live with her new husband and his family. Lindiwe's mother-in-law, however, was a cruel and suspicious woman. She could not understand why Lindiwe only performed her chores at night, and grew increasingly dissatisfied with her daughter-in-law's behavior. Despite Lindiwe's hard work and dedication, her mother-in-law kept on abusing her and made fun of her strange ways. One fateful day, the mother-in-law demanded that Lindiwe fetch water from the lake during the day, fully aware of the taboo. Lindiwe tried pleading with her, but her in-law refused. Bound by duty and fear, she reluctantly obeyed. As she approached the lake, the sun's rays touched her skin, and a chilling transformation began. The lake, sensing the broken taboo, reached out with ghostly tendrils and pulled Lindiwe into its depths. Villagers, hearing her cries, rushed to the lake but found no trace of Lindiwe. The Sangoma, sensing the disturbance, arrived and solemnly declared that the lake had claimed Lindiwe for breaking the sacred rule. Nandi, heartbroken and inconsolable, mourned the loss of her beloved daughter. The prince was heartbroken after Lindiwe disappeared into the lake. He cried day and night, unable to eat or sleep, and the entire kingdom grew worried about him. The chief called all the seers to help, but none could offer a solution. Desperate, Lindiwe's mother went back to the Sangoma and pleaded for her daughter's return. The Sangoma consulted the gods once more. He revealed that they demanded a sacrifice of 20 cattle to the lake. The gods were angry because Lindiwe had been mistreated, and only this offering could appease them. The ritual had to be performed at night. Lindiwe's mother couldn't afford 20 cattle, so she ran to the prince and told him everything. The prince, determined to do anything for his beloved Lindiwe, agreed to help. He gathered 20 cattle and, along with the Sangoma and Lindiwe's mother, went to the lake. At the lake, the Sangoma cried out to the gods, apologizing on behalf of Lindiwe's guardians. They all knelt by the water, pleading for Lindiwe's return. The Sangoma then began the ritual, slaughtering the cattle one by one. The cattle disappeared into the lake without any trace of blood. After an hour of anxious waiting, Lindiwe emerged from the lake. Overjoyed, they all ran to hug her. They returned home, and the mother-in-law, realizing how much she had hurt her son and Lindiwe, apologized sincerely. She promised to treat Lindiwe with kindness from then on. To make amends, she invited Lindiwe's mother to stay with them in the palace, to help with their future grandchildren. From that day forward, they all lived happily together.